भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So continuing with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, seventh chapter, scheduled incarnations, text number 23 onwards. So this is what Brahmaji is speaking to Narad Muni. And it's amazing, this verse. It's about Lord Ram, and with Ram Navami coming up not too far from today, it's amazing that this verse we have to discuss today. So text 23. Asmat prasad sumukha kalya kalesha ikshvaku vanshavatirya gurur nideshe tishtan vanam saditanuj avivesha yasmin viruddhya dashkandhar artim archuta. Due to his causeless mercy upon all living entities within the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions, appeared in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku as a lord of his internal potency, Sita. Under the order of his father, Maharaj Dashrath, he entered the forest and lived there for considerable years with his wife and younger brother. Ravan, who was very materially powerful and with 10 heads on his shoulders, committed a great offense against him and was thus ultimately vanquished. Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his brothers, namely Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughna, are his plenary expansions. All four brothers are Vishnu Tattva and were never ordinary human beings. So Prabhupada, just right off the bat, he wants to make sure that we don't misunderstand the position of Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. Of course, Ram, we all know, is a Vishnu Tattva, but all the other brothers were also Vishnu Tattvas. That's what in the word say, they were the plenary extensions of Ram, of Krishna. There are many unscrupulous and ignorant commentators on Ramayana who present the younger brothers of Lord Ram as ordinary living entities. But here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the most authentic scripture on the science of Godhead, it is clearly stated that his brothers were his plenary expansions. Originally, Lord Ramchandra is the incarnation of Vasudeva, Lakshman is incarnation of Sankarshan, Bharat is incarnation of Pradyumna, and Shatrughna is the incarnation of Aniruddha, expansions of the personality of Godhead. Lakshmiji Sita is the internal potency of the Lord and is neither an ordinary woman nor the external potency incarnation of Durga. Durga is the external potency of the Lord and she is associated with Lord Shiva. So again, Sita ji is Lakshmi ji herself. And that's the internal potency or Antaranga Shakti of the Lord, not Durga ji. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord appears when there are discrepancies in the discharge of factual religion. Lord Ramchandra also appeared under the same circumstances, accompanied by his brothers who are expansions of the Lord's internal potency, and by Lakshmi ji, Sita Devi. So, just like Krishna, when he appeared and he performed so many pastimes, and we know about Lord Ram also, he performed so many wonderful pastimes. In fact, when it came to ninth canto, towards the end of ninth canto, there are one or two or three chapters at the most for the pastimes of Lord Ram. Because Shukdev Goswami, he just he just says to Parikshit Maharaj that you know about Lord Ram, so he just went further because their ultimate aim was to get to the pastimes of Krishna. And Lord Ram's pastimes, as Prabhupada mentioned, they are authentically mentioned in Ramayana by Maharshi Valmiki. So Prabhupada always referred to that Valmiki Ramayana. Of course, these days Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas is very popular, but somehow Prabhupada he never said that was completely authentic. But Ramayana he always said that is authentic. But even among Ramayana, I have heard that there are many different Ramayans. In South India, there are many Ramayans that are popular. So that could be because of different kalpas, different days of Brahmaji. Lord Ram has different pastimes. Some similarities there, but some differences are there. So there are many Ramayans available in South India. But Prabhupada always referred to Valmiki Ramayana as authentic one. So we'll go with that. So here Prabhupada is saying that Krishna, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata bithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamiha. That whenever and wherever there is a decline in religion, I appear and establish the religion. So Lord Ram also appeared. So only Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, and of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their pastimes are very popular and more details, so much of details are given about their pastimes. And maybe on the day of Lord Ram's appearance day, we'll discuss more about Lord Ram's pastime. Lord Ramchandra was ordered by his father Maharaj Ashwath to leave home for the forest under awkward circumstances, and the Lord, as the ideal son of his father, carried out the order, even on the occasion of his being declared the king of Ayodhya. One of his younger brothers, Lakshmanji, desired to go with him, and so also his eternal wife Sitaji desired to go with him. The Lord agreed to both of them, and altogether they entered the Dandakaranya forest to live there for 14 years. Because that was the deal that Kaikeyi asked from Maharaj Dashrath, that that Ram should go to the forest and live there. And the condition was he has to live in the forest, not in the city, not in the palace, in the forest for 14 years. And he would only eat roots and fruits and herbs. And of course, Lakshmanji and Sitaji, they were not part of that deal, but they decided to go with Ram. They said, we cannot live without you. So this is a story of Ramayana, story of Lord Ram's pastimes and his brother's pastimes, Sitaji's story. They are all full of so much of sacrifice. Everybody did. So much of sacrifice. Like Sitaji was never ordered by Kaikeyi, but she went. She said, no, I cannot live without you. And Ram told her that forest is not an easy place to stay in. There'll be cold, there will be hot weather, there'll be rainy season, there'll be at night there won't be any light, there could be animals, they're ferocious animals, there could be rakshasas, there would be every kind of people in the forest. But she said that wherever you are, that is heaven for me. And if without you, even if I'm in heaven, there'll be like hell for me. So Sitaji said, I am coming with you. And Lakshmanji, I mean, even it is said that even that one discussion or argument was possible was with Sitaji. Lakshmanji, there was no discussion or no argument possible for Ram. Lakshmanji just clearly said, I'm coming with you. And then look at the sacrifice of Urmila, Lakshmanji's wife. Lakshmanji just ordered her, no, you stay here, because she also wanted to come along, just like Sita was going with Ram. But Lakshmi said, no, you're not coming. You're staying here, you serve the mothers. That's all. So it's an amazing, amazing story. Of course, that happened in Treta Yuga, and that kind of sacrifice, that kind of love among brothers and husband and wife, and it just can be can't even be thought of these days. Bharat also, how much sacrifice he made. He was he was put in such an awkward position by his mother, and he took a vow that I will not sit on the throne. The throne belongs to Ram. But Ram said, I cannot sit on the throne for 14 years because my father's vow, by the word of my father, I have to keep. So Bharatji, when they had met at Chitrakoot, of course, I haven't had a chance to go to Chitrakoot or take the group to Chitrakoot, and I heard that there is a rock where Bharat and Ram, when they met, the rock melted by the love of both of brothers for each other, and the sign footsteps of that is still there because the rock melted. So Bharatji said, "Okay, you cannot come back, so I also take a vow that I take your slippers, and the slippers will be the king. I'll rule over the Ayodhya as your representative only. That's it. And since you are my king, and if my king is going to live in a forest, in a hut, I'll also live in a forest, in a hut. I'll not enter Ayodhya at all. And since my king is going to live on roots and fruits and herbs, I'll also eat that only." So Keke is so much she thought of for her son, and Bharat, he just completely ignored everything. He sacrificed. And Shatrughna, of course, nobody talks about Shatrughna. Shatrughna was ordered by Bharat to go to Ayodhya, live in the palace, take care of mothers, and just rule over as my representative. So Shatrughna was living in the palace, but always with the mentality that this kingdom belongs to Ram and I'm just his servant. So they set up such a wonderful example for everybody to follow. Oh, there are so many stories, so many incidents. And look at Hanumanji, Sugriv, how they served Ram, Angad, Nal, Neel. It's amazing. Uh, the whole pastimes of Lord Ram are amazing. And that's why they're so much popular even till today. Can we imagine? I mean, the pastimes happened in Treta Yuga. This we have discussed earlier. Like Kali Yuga, 5,000 years have passed. And then it was Dwapar Yuga before Kali Yuga, 8,64,000 years. Then it was before that Treta Yuga, 11,28,000. No, three times Kali Yuga. So 12,96,000. And then Satyuga, it was 17,28,000. So almost like 20 lakh years ago, if this is a Ramayana or this is a Lord Ram's pastimes of, if it happened in that Treta Yuga, which was just before the Dwapar Yuga that Krishna appeared. Because when we look at calculations later on, it will show It could be that Lord Ram, this pastime that we talk about, it didn't happen in this Treta Yuga. It could happen before some other Treta Yuga. So just imagine 20 lakh years ago, if we just go with this Treta Yuga, these pastimes happen. And till today, people are talking about it, listening to it, and they get so much of pleasure speaking about Lord Ram's pastimes. If it isn't for the Lord, who else can capture and the minds, the hearts of people, even 20 lakh years later? Nobody. There's no way. But this is Ram. This is Ram's pastimes. Sita is Lakshmi ji, or the goddess of fortune, but she is never to be enjoyed by any living being. She is meant for being worshipped by the living being along with her husband, Shri Ramchandra. A materialistic man like Ravan does not understand this great truth, but on the contrary, he wants to snatch Sita Devi from the custody of Ram and thus incur great miseries. The materialists who are after opulence and material prosperity may take lessons from the Ramayana that the policy of exploiting the nature of the Lord without acknowledging the supremacy of the Supreme Lord is the policy of Ravan. Ravan was very advanced materially, so much so that he turned his kingdom, Lanka, into pure gold, a full material wealth. But because he did not recognize the supremacy of Lord Ram and defied him by stealing his wife Sita, Ravan was killed, and all his opulence and power were destroyed. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning, and it in the verse also, that Ravan was very successful materially. In fact, to attain all these powers, he had performed severe austerities. First, he pleased Brahmaji, then he pleased Shivji by his austerities, by his tapasya, by his prayers. And he got so many benedictions, so many benedictions. 10 heads he got. Uh, and in fact, when he was pleasing Brahmaji, he was performing austerities. He was cutting off all his heads. He performed austerities for 10,000 years. So at the end of 1,000 years, he would cut off one head and offer it to Brahmaji. So at the end of 10,000 years, he was going to cut off his last head and offer. And Brahmaji appeared, no, don't do that. What do you want? And just like Hiranyakashipu asked, Ravana also asked for, make me immortal. Brahmaji said, I cannot do that because I'm not immortal. Then obviously Ravana asked for so many boons. And basically he became like invincible and close to immortal. But when he was asking for boons, he said, give me all these boons, but don't give me that boon that I should not be defeated by any human being. What are these human beings? How can they defeat? So he got so puffed up. And that's why Lord Ram appeared as a human being, in a human being form. And Ravan just could not understand the position of Ram. And that's why when he kidnapped Sita, his point was, oh, Sita, what are you doing? You're so beautiful. What are you doing with such a low human being in the forest? Come with me. I'll give you all the opulence, all the comforts. I'll make you the queen. Even Mandodari will be your servant, maid servant. This is what Ravan was promising her. But obviously, Sita ji can only be with her husband, Lord Ram. And this was the offense that Ravan committed. And that's why the whole dynasty got vanquished. He had so much of opulence. His whole city was made of gold, pure, solid gold. It wasn't gold plated bricks or gold plated columns. It wasn't like that. It was pure, solid gold. And when Hanumanji had burnt Lanka, all the gold, the whole palace, and all the houses of different Rakshasas, everything melted and all the gold went into the ocean. Of course, Ravan was so powerful, he called uh, Vishwakarma ji, come and build the city and rebuild it again, the way it was before Hanumanji burnt it. So Vishwakarma had to come and rebuild the whole city. That much opulence he had. How many of us can even think of? That's why people say, oh, these are all mythological stories. It's not believable. And just because we cannot understand it doesn't mean it's mythology. The whole city, has said, it is said in Ramayana and other places, it was made of solid, pure, solid gold. And this is what Ravan had. That was his opulence and his power. His son had Indrajit, he had defeated Indra himself. And Ravan had practically defeated all the demigods and all the asuras. He had defeated them. They had become his asuras had become his friends, and demigods were all afraid of Ravan. But because of his offenses against Ram, because of his desire to enjoy Sita without this desire of serving Ram, and that was a problem. He committed offense and then he was vanquished completely. All the dynasty, all the Rakshasas, everybody was just killed. So this is what the result of offenses are. One should avoid, and if one cannot avoid, at least one should listen to the good counsel of devotees and ask for forgiveness. When Lord Ram came back to Ayodhya after killing Ravan with Sita and everybody was there, and his coronation happened. So after the coronation, Sugriv asked Lord Ram, because Sugriv was on a friendly level, the level of friends. Of course, his mood was of service, but on a friend level, not as a servant level. So he asked Ram that, Ram, my dear Lord, when Vibhishan came and he bowed down to you, you called him and you made him pretty much, you called him as Lankesh. You addressed him as Lankesh, means you made him the king of Lanka. But Ravan was still living. So obviously your intentions were clear that Ravan will die and Vibhishan will become the next king of Lanka. But Sugriv said, I still have a doubt. I still have a question. What if afterwards, if Ravan had a change of heart and he had come to take shelter of your lotus feet, what kingdom would you have given him? Because he is a king. Kings cannot live without a kingdom, without ruling over a kingdom. Lord Ram said that I had already given the kingdom to Vibhishan, so I couldn't have given the kingdom of Lanka back to Ravan if he had come to surrender. But if he had just surrendered, if he had just said, Ram, I'm yours, that's all. That's how merciful Lord Ram is. Lord Ram said, if he had just said, Lord Ram, I'm yours, I would have made him the king of Ayodhya. I would have given him my kingdom. That's how much Lord Ram loves his devotees. But our problem is we don't want to surrender to Ram or Krishna or to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or to Nityananda Prabhu. That's our problem. They are ready to take care of us. Just like in the verse also, it is said, no? By his causeless mercy. See, in the translation it said, due to his causeless mercy, he appeared in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku. So this is what Lord comes to do. He's not bound. He just sees when we are suffering, he comes down and takes care of us, takes care of ordinary human beings, ordinary living entities, and of course kills. But his killing is also uh, in the mood of his mercy only. When he killed Ravan, it wasn't out of enviousness or out of enmity. It was only out of mercy. He killed Ravan. So we have to take shelter of the Lord, whether whoever, it's Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Mahaprabhu, anybody, Jagannath, they're just there to shower their mercy upon us. We just have to have faith and take shelter. That's it. So anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. We have been returned to normal now. Hearing your lectures.
Everybody was praising your lectures.
No, not at all, Prabhu. Actually, I was not prepared. Nothing I know. No realization.
I'm not lying. You just asked Archana Mataji what she said about your lectures.
Yeah, Radha Prabhuji. It was wonderful, Prabhuji.
See?
So thank you very much, Mataji. I don't know. It's all through Prabhupada's mercy. His grace, with the Prabhu's mercy, that I was able to see.
Prabhupada's mercy.
Prabhu's
mercy, I got it through you only, Prabhu. It's flowing through you only.
I'm nobody. Anyway, I think we should stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.